Since the start of the conflict in East Ukraine, Canada has been at the forefront of aid efforts to support the defense of Ukraine. The Canadian government has invested over $22 million on the provision of non-lethal military equipment. The chairman of the Canadian-Ukrainian Friendship Parliamentary Committee, Ted Opitz, says this aid is designed to boost the Ukrainian military directly.
We have sent helmets and flak vests previously to help troops in the field protect them as life-saving measures and equipment. We have sent medical aid to Ukraine. We have sent field hospital, and we have sent over 30,000 sets of winter uniforms to Ukraine, which is approximately a division and a half worth of winter uniforms that are equipping the troops throughout a very cold winter in Ukraine. That includes parkas, pants, gloves, wet weather boots.
The first parts of supplies were sent to Kyiv via plane from Toronto. The second and the biggest chunk arrived via ship in Odessa in early 2015. Further shipments are underway. Volunteers and Canadian Embassy staff help out in Ukraine to make sure everything is distributed as soon as possible.
The biggest risk to aid projects in Ukraine is the propaganda that's being generated around that this aid is being somehow stolen or sold and proceeds going into somebody's pocket. And that is why we are, Canadian volunteers in Ukraine are working closely to ensure that those humanitarian aid shipments are in fact getting to the places where they need to get to. So a very concrete example, when the Canadian military aid came through Odessa, there was a team of Canadians working together with the Canadian Embassy and Ukrainian volunteers to identify what shipments came to Ukraine, to ensure that they got to the right place, and in fact delivering them right to the soldiers and seeing that aid being delivered.
The government is not the only source of aid to Ukraine from Canada. In recent months, local volunteers from the Ukrainian diaspora have collected and sent over 100,000 kilograms of aid. Clothes and shoes, medicines and equipment were collected by organizations and ordinary Canadians of Ukrainian background. Right now, they are sending aid designed to help Ukrainians manage their challenging winter season.
Usually, our clients that ship supplies for the army, they ship thermal underwear, warm pants, socks, boots, hooded tops, binoculars, sleeping bags, tents, winter hats, gloves, raincoats, also dry foods, energy bars, and I've seen a lot of them including letters for the soldiers for just moral support.
Volunteers Konstantin Yastreb and Dmitry Barinov have been sending military parcels for several months. They collaborate with volunteers in Ukraine and keep in touch with specific activists, providing items to several military units, including a Ukrainian Special Forces unit.
Every month we send 2,000 to 3,000 worth of different medication equipment. Usually we collect through our friends, neighbors, whatever we can find. Sometimes people will just, through our friends, will find us, and we are sending, right now we're sending mostly all our stuff to the 14th Brigade, mostly for tank uniforms, helmets, helmet liners. We're trying to cover helmet liners with mics, then special boots for our guys, because they have special needs.
Konstantin and Dmitry source the military equipment they send to Ukraine via the internet. Almost everything has been previously used by American or Canadian forces. Second-hand military kit is much cheaper than new items and does not require any special licenses for purchasing.
Well, this is an example of the goods that we get for our military units in Ukraine. We try to buy them on the internet markets where we can get them much cheaper than they are typically. Like, for example, these are the tank overalls, the very nice overalls. Tankers like them, and we get them typically for the price of about $50 to $40. Some of them are used, some of them are not used.
The shipment of volunteer aid from Canada to Ukraine is, in most cases, handled by Mist Company, which offers special health crisis rates and sometimes even delivers for free. Since last summer, when the conflict in eastern Ukraine has just occurred, volunteer military assistance has increased sevenfold. Now sending packages to soldiers became for Canadian Ukrainians a mass phenomenon and a part of a daily life. This is Andrei Vasilyev in Toronto for Ukraine Today.